A reading from the book of Genesis. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and darkness swept over the waters. And the breath of God passed over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw that it was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. And he called the light day, and the darkness night. And it was evening and morning the first day. God said, "Let there be a dome in the midst of the waters to separate waters from waters." And it was so. God placed the dome in the midst of the waters to separate the waters from that were below the dome and the waters that were above the dome. And he called the dome sky. And there was evening and morning the second day. Now God said, "Let the waters under the dome be gathered in a separate place, and let dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the waters gathered together the seas. And God saw it was good. And he said, "Let vegetation appear, plants with seeds and trees bearing fruit with seed in it." And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants of every kind bearing seed, and trees of every kind bearing fruit with seed in it. And it was evening and morning the third day. God said, "Let there be lights in the dome of the sky. Let them be for light for the earth, and let them be signs of seasons and days and signs and years." And it was so. God created two great lights, the greater one to rule the day, and the lesser one to rule the night and the stars, and God put them into the dome to separate the light from the dark, and to rule the day and the night. And he put them in the dome to give light to the world. And God saw it was good. And it was evening and morning the fourth day. God said, let the waters put forth living creatures, and let birds fly over the earth across the dome." So God created sea monsters and all the living creatures from which the waters swarm, and birds of every kind on the earth. And it was so. And God saw it was good, and he blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters, and fill the earth with winged birds." And it was evening and morning the fifth day. God said, "Let the earth bring forward living creatures, cattle, and wild animals, and creeping things that creep upon the earth." And it was so. The earth brought forth, and God created living creatures, wild animals of all types, and cattle of all kind, and all of the creeping things that creep upon the face of the earth. And God saw that it was good. And God said, Let us make humankind in our own image, according to our likeness. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air and all the living creatures that walk the face of the earth. So God created humankind in his image. In his image he created them, male and female he created them. And he blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply and subdue the earth and have dominion over the fish of the sea and birds of the air and all the living creatures on the face of the earth." And God said, "See, I have given you plants of every kind yielding seed, and trees of every kind yielding fruit with seed in it. You shall have those for food. And the wild beasts and the birds of the air and the wild animals that cross the face of the earth, and everything that creeps upon the ground, everything that has the breath of life shall have green plants for food." And God saw everything that he had done, and it was very good. And it was evening and morning, the sixth day. Thus the creation of the world was completed, and all of its multitudes. On the seventh day, God rested from unfinished all the work that he had done. And God hallowed and blessed the seventh day because he rested on it from all the work that he had done in creation. And these are the generations of the earth when they were created. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.